All right.
Hi.
We are live once again. And as you can see, yes, we are doing this in person.
Yes.
She's been here for what, like 6 days now?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, she's in Jersey with me, which is amazing. It's been surreal having her here. But we figured we'd try to get at least a couple videos out together. And you know what? We realized, oh shit, there's still a whole week of Big Brother Canada that we have not covered. So we should probably go ahead and do that.
Yes.
Regardless of, whether we care about it or not, because I will be honest, I don't really care about it that much these days. But we are going to review this week of Big Brother Canada 10. This is week 8, episodes 18 through 20.
Yeah.
But before we start off, I always ask you, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Both of us have just been chilling today.
Yes.
Because we're both trying to get over colds.
Yes.
So yeah, my voice is slowly getting better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a nice day so far.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. We were able to watch this today, so, there's that at least. The week, though, on the other hand, is not one that I'm particularly fond of.
Me neither.
Because there really wasn't that much that went down this week in terms of interest level. There was a lot of potential, and there were things that could have happened, but those things that needed to happen to make this interesting did not happen, and we got a very boring week, I think, as a result.
Yeah.
But I think we are just going to go ahead, get into the week that was. I have not put our names anywhere, so let me just go ahead and fix that right now. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. So we get to Sunday, and as we know, Monday. I always put Sunday. We get to Monday, and as we know, there was supposed to be a Buzzkilled comp, Allie, right? Remember how we ended off? There was going to be this comp and everything. Turns out, no, that didn't happen. There were some very severe technical mishaps that they had to cancel the Buzzkilled comp, and we have a different HOH instead. How did you feel about this whole ordeal? Because they tried this like 2 times, and they were just not happening.
I was watching it on the feeds.
It's like the one time we watched the feeds. This is what happens.
I know. I barely watched this season, but on feeds. But
I heard it's been a very boring feed season.
Some of them, yeah. But I was very excited about this comp, but it was definitely kind of boring to watch. But there was all these issues with the buzzers, so I'm very happy they changed the comp and canceled it, just because BB Canada actually takes initiative.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will definitely give them here, is that I like that they admitted, hey, we fucked up. Like, we had some issues here, so we had to redo. They didn't try to act like the comp didn't exist. They didn't try to act like I loved, especially in the recap where he brought up Buzzkill, that it said technical difficulties and it cut to something else. Like, stuff like that is just so clever, and that's a very easy way of being like, yeah, we know this was supposed to happen. Like, we're not stupid.
If it was Big Brother US, they probably just
sweep it under the rug.
They would ignore it.
Sweep it on. The only instance I've seen of them correcting themselves is Big Brother 16, when there was a comp that Cody won, and they noticed that they watched the footage back and his shoe hit the ground, and that's when Devin became HOH. That's the only time I've seen Big Brother US actually take accountability for something like that. And admit to that they messed it up or something like that. So so basically we do get to the let's get into the week here. Betty is very happy to have survived. However, she is now very wary of Summer because of her being so openly uncertain about her vote last week. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Summer plays this week horribly. I don't think there's a single thing that Summer does this week that helps her within the rest of the game. And I've been a fan of Summer. As you guys know, we've been big on Summer all season. This was not a good week for her.
Not at all. It sucks.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate because I feel like we talk about the early weeks of this game. Summer really seemed like she was going to be a power player of the season. Really hasn't been at all. I think since losing Tynesha and Hermon, her game has really just gone down the drain at this point.
I hope it picks back up.
I just need her to start winning comps and getting a bit more initiative, because she's not really doing that. And this late in the game, she needs to do that.
Yeah.
So Marty isn't upset by the fact that her mom called him a snake because he didn't respect his game, but he's very worried the other house guests will be viewing him that way. And again, this just shows the kind of person that Marty is. The fact that he had so little respect for Hermon's game when I feel like Hermon probably would have respected Marty's game if he had been a little bit nicer to him. I just don't understand how Marty feels like any of what he's doing is okay. It's like Marty always victimizes himself. He always acts like he's in the right. And I'm just kind of sick of it because it's like very obvious to me that Marty is the bad guy in this situation, not the other way around.
Oh, yeah. Marty's just like not a logical player at all.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to turn on some more lights. It's kind of dark in here.
Yeah, of course.
So you can just talk.
I'm going to get some water, actually.
All right. Get some more lights in here. Turn on that light.
They're getting a view of this picture.
Yeah. Yes. Dream, believe, achieve. What we need for this season. We need people to believe that the people that we want to win stuff are going to start winning stuff because it hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
Achieve. We need people to achieve comp wins.
Got a cookie.
So you know what? It all stems back to BB Can now. But anyway, going back to what we're talking about again, just Marty is the villain, and not in a way that I think because he's not a good villain. He's not the kind of villain that owns the fact that I'm a villain and he continues to play that way. It's like he thinks he's the hero, but he's really the villain. He's the kind of Big Brother player you just absolutely despise, and he gets worse and worse every single week.
Very problematic villain.
And the thing is, Marty doesn't even do much this week, and he still pisses me off. That just shows how bad of a game that he's playing. Like, and I've seen people say, "Oh, Marty's going to get to the end." I don't even know if he can at this point. I feel like the way he's playing, like, I just don't see a path for him. I don't see anybody voting for him. I don't think a lot of people take him very seriously. Like, I just don't see a path where Marty ends up winning this game. But, you know, we'll have to see, of course. I just don't really see it happening. But, yeah, so Kevin feels they need to keep Marty off the block because of how much they have reeled him in. And he will do literally anything that they want. Now, I will say, Kevin, once again, star of the show here. Like, he very much is the one that is pretty much controlling the week. He's the one who's deciding what's going to happen. And he plays this week pretty great. I think, once again, my only real concern with Kevin, I think, at this point is he as good with everyone as he thinks he is? Because he's definitely really good with Hermon. Yeah. He's really good, especially after this week with the showmans. He's amazing. Did I say Hermon? I meant Haleena. Yeah. I don't know why I said Hermon.
That's funny.
He's really good with, obviously, Josh and Marty. But does he have the other house guests? Like, or is he as in control of them as he thinks? That's my only real concern when it comes to Kevin. But he played this week really good, I think, once again. Yeah. He's really the only person at this point that I would say, like, he's playing an amazing game.
Yeah, he's playing really well so far.
Yeah, like, if Kevin wins this season, I'd definitely be here for it. So everyone walks in and notices a chain on the fridge, which indicates that they all may be on slop again. I thought this was going to be something bigger. Like, I thought this fridge was going to, like, open. There'd be, like, a power in there or something. No, they're just literally on slop.
Yeah,
so
it's just slop.
We get to the comp, and obviously it's not buzzkilled. Instead, we had a before or after comp. And the only thing that sucks about not having buzzkilled, Allie, is that it's such a crapshoot that literally anybody could have won. Like, we could have gotten a summer HOH. We could have gotten a Betty HOH. Well, maybe not a summer one because she kept getting out of it first. But we could have gotten a Betty HOH. Like, there's so many factors that could have happened. I think Moose very well was going to get it because he was the one that was the most confident.
He was.
It didn't happen. Instead, we got probably the most boring outcome possible with Gino somehow winning the HOH here. So
boring.
Yeah, I mean, look, Gino, is he playing terrible? Kind of. But he's not playing terrible in the way that Marty's playing terrible to the point where he's just pissing me off. He's just so utterly boring to watch because he talks in the same cadence the entire time. And he doesn't really deviate from it at all. Oh, I'm Gino. Oh,
like, honestly, Gino is just such a forgettable person.
He's very monotone like this. That's how he speaks. That's how he talks all the time. And it's not particularly interesting to watch. So it's like, I'd rather have like a chaotic HOH than this. Like, it's just really boring to watch overall. So basically, Kevin feels that Gino really showed his intelligence here and has been downplaying it pretty much the entire game. I feel like that tracks. I feel like Gino has been kind of downplaying it a little bit, but I don't think he's as smart as Kevin thinks he is, because especially with the way he handles this week, Gino is not the smartest sometimes. He doesn't think through. Now, he thinks through his decisions more than, like, say, Marty does, but I still think that there is a level of awareness that Gino just doesn't have, and I think that's going to cost him the game.
Yeah.
So he plans to go after Marty and make sure he goes home, which is so funny because we know at this point how much Marty is just constantly gun-ho about how he wants to go to the end with Gino.
Ugh.
He's obsessed with him. He's
so
practically
weird.
sheeping him at this point. It's like, you would think he's like his fucking father or something with like the way that Marty treats him. It's like Gino literally wants nothing to do with this guy at this point. It's so funny to watch.
He's so done with him.
I can't wait till the season ends. Gino gets out of the house, does nothing about Marty. Marty's like texting him away, being like, hey, you need anything? You need help with something? Are you and Jacey-Lynne okay? Like, he's gonna be that house guest. He's gonna be the house guest to like constantly, like, you know how there's always that one house guest that's like continually messaging people all the time? Marty's gonna be like that, but it's only gonna be Gino.
Ugh.
So yeah, I can't wait to see that happen, because at this point, like, I just think Marty is in full-blown denial at this point.
Oh yeah.
So basically, Gino wants to, Gino says Betty's bummed after that she keeps flopping at these competitions and is hoping she can get her turn soon. Josh was tied for a second again. However, she doesn't see herself going up, which is actually a good thing. This is one of the rare times that she doesn't go up. And hi, Janaea. This is one of the rare times that she doesn't end up actually going up, which is really good. Betty's in a much better position than I think she was a couple weeks ago. I think that Betty's someone who has probably some of the better awareness in the house of what's going on and where people are positioned. Josh is a very frustrating player at this point, because I don't know if they showed this. I don't think they showed this on the show, but he literally told Betty, yeah, we don't need to try in the HOH. Like, we'll be fine.
Josh is just very frustrating these days.
Yeah, he really is.
What is he doing?
I don't really understand his game. I think in his mind, he's like trying to play like a middle game, very low key. But dude, it's like it's jury at this point. Like if you don't start at least trying to win,
it's all the game's almost over. You really need to like try and win.
Yeah, like at least try to win some comps. At least try to make some deals. It's like I just don't know what he's doing in the game at this point. It doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like Josh's game just really continues to go down by the weeks. But Gino's feeling a lot better about this HOH due to the fact that the last time he didn't really want it, as we know. The whole drama with Kyle went down, and then he won HOH, and he didn't really know how to feel about it. So he feels like he can enjoy this more, which he definitely does. I think he definitely enjoys this HOH more for sure. But I actually think that HOH was stronger for Gino than this one was, because I think that HOH, Gino was in a position to where Kyle had completely thrown him under the bus, and Gino found a way to like put himself in a better position. I don't think he does that this week. So Kevin talks about Marty and says that he needs to convince Gino to keep him and stay in the showmance's good graces, which, I mean, I guess that's probably the best way to go about it. So Gino wants to clean things up, and I love this moment where he's literally like sweeping the house. I thought that was kind of funny. So he talks about how the last week was really messy because of Marty, and starts by literally, he talks to JL, who says that Moose offered to go up on the block, and he plans to put him up with Summer to ensure that Marty does go. And Gino then takes Moose to Wendy's and brings him how Haleena and Summer haven't been nominated and should go up because of it. I thought this was a pretty good pitch. Like, neither of them have been nominated at this point. Put up both of them, like, it would ensure that, you know, you have someone that at least they've gone up. You know, they can never say at the end, like, we're the only people to not go up. I thought that made sense on Moose's end.
I mean, it does make sense. It's a good pitch, but I mean, they deserve to be nominated.
Yeah. I know you were talking about this when we watched the episode. It's a lot of the time this season, it's like the person they take to Wendy's is the person they're putting on the block. And I don't know how to feel about that. Like, it's kind of weird.
It's just kind of like petty.
Yeah, it's like, why are you doing that to like get into their good graces? To
They're
like
trying
see
to
where
get
their
like
heads
they're
at?
trying to get a rise out of them.
It's very strange.
And they're tormenting them.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Like I feel like the reason you take someone to Wendy's is to like gain their trust and like maybe pick their brain a bit, suggest some ideas, like not to tell them, I'm putting you on the block. Like it's
like, no. Is
this like a complimentary dinner and then before like I slit your throat? Like I just don't really know like why that's a thing this season. It's very strange.
Gino goes ahead and lets Josh in on the plan. However, he plans to keep Haleena and Kevin out of it because he has a 5-person deal with them. And he knows this could ruin it, but once he's gone, he's confident he can win them back over.
I think this was a not good on his end. I think he honestly needed to just let them in on what he's doing. And I think if he had done that, I think he could have actually done a pretty good job because he could have said, hey, because the thing that Gino does not say this week that I think would have actually helped his case and say, hey, Marty's a very erratic player because he is. Marty doesn't think through any of his decisions. Marty will throw any of us under the bus. He doesn't think about any of what he's doing. He doesn't realize that, we don't really have him in the way that he does. And I understand that Kevin feels that Marty is good for him. He's not, though, because Marty's going to continue to build his resume with the comps that he wins. Meanwhile, Kevin, people are seeing as not doing much in the house. They're seeing him as very low-key, and I think that is an issue right now. So I think if Gino had presented that to Kevin and Haleena, I actually think he had a better chance of pulling off this back door. But because he left them out of it, there was just no possible way that this was going to work. And I think that was like the fatal flaw of this entire week. Because I was all here for, let's target Marty. But the second he said like, oh, Kevin and Haleena are not going to know about this, it's like, how do you expect this to happen? Yeah. If they're not on board, like, I just don't understand it.
I know.
So
Josh then goes and tells Kevin about the plan anyway.
Of course he does.
Of course.
Again, I just don't understand Josh right now. Like,
I don't even know. Summer is feeling okay with Gino being HOH, and she thinks she has built a solid enough foundation with him to where she won't be touching the block.
You sure about that?
Girl, no. Makes me sad. Gino goes to Marty and assures him that Summer and Moose are the targets for the week. And we get some stupid filler segment about Jacey-Lynne and Gino.
I don't care about this at all. I don't know why they continue to just... This is the other reason I don't want a Gino HOH, because we're going to get endless like content about him and Jacey-Lynne's like showmance, and I just don't care about it at all. It's like so boring to watch. It's like... It's the most like boring showmance I think I've ever seen on Big Brother, because neither of them have personalities.
They just don't have anything interesting.
Yeah, they're both just really boring to watch. It's just like, it's honestly
I feel like I'm watching a boring Hallmark movie.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I am too. It's so corny.
Summer goes to Gino and he lets her know he wants her to go up as a pawn, and she isn't down for it at all, which, I mean, as she should. And says that she is one of the only people he has on his good side right now.
Which is true, but I do think this again comes into that Summer really does not have good game awareness right now, because I don't think Summer realizes how good Gino is with like almost all of the house right now. Like I feel like Gino, really thinking about it, realistically should have gone during that double. Like as much as we wanted Jess out, Jess would have been a lot easier to get out than Gino, because Jess had made their bed the second they won that HOH.
They literally could have just gotten Jess out like first or...
Yeah, I feel like they should have just honestly pulled off that Gino backdoor, because now we're at a point where Gino's kind of untouchable. Like I don't see Gino going for a while, actually. Like I think Gino could potentially get all the way to the end and potentially win if he continues to play the way he is.
We'll see.
So, do I want it? No, because it'd be a really fucking boring outcome.
Yeah.
But like, I could see it happen with the way things are going.
No.
So, yeah, just not great game awareness on Summer's end.
Yeah, sadly. Kevin talks to Gino, and he brings up how great of a shield Marty could be, and that Moose and Summer are far more dangerous for his game overall.
And, like, I get why Kevin is doing this. Like, this is a really good pitch from Kevin.
Yeah.
If you think about it, though, it doesn't make sense. There should not be
doesn't.
shields at Final 8. Like, it's final, what is it, like, Final 9, Final 8?
Yeah.
There should not be shields this late in the game. You know, there aren't shields anymore. Like, people got to go. Like, Marty's got to go. He's going to get to the end, you know?
Yeah, they're literally now trying to win.
That being said, I get why Kevin needed to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The nomination ceremony does go down, and Gino does put up Summer and Moose.
Which his reasoning for putting up Summer was very strange. He's like, oh, she's only not doing well in competitions because she thinks she's so good socially. That's not why. I think she's trying to play like a Paris type game where she's only winning when she needs to. Yeah. But it's just not working out for her because I don't think Summer's very good at competitions.
Yeah, I hope she starts winning.
I mean, I would love that too, but we have not seen that happen yet. So I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and get into Wednesday now.
All right. Okay. Gino talks to Summer and apologizes, but then says he kept it nice.
Which, like, I don't understand why you apologize and then be like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Like, that completely just, like, that completely just, like, discards your apology. Yeah. Like, it makes your apology pretty much, like, useless.
Literally. Like, it's not even an apology.
No, it's not.
It's very fake.
Yeah, it is.
Moose tells Gino he isn't upset, but he feels like Josh would have made far more sense, and Gino says he wants him to fight hard and win the veto.
I would agree with this. I think Josh, people deem as like a really big threat. Yeah. And like I said, I don't think Josh is playing a good game at all, but I think it does make sense to go for him instead of Moose, who is kind of alone right now.
I know. That's very true. Like, Moose has, like, nobody.
And the one thing I will say about Moose that we really did see this week, Moose is an excellent speaker. He does such a great job of, like, pitching things and reeling you in. Yeah. But I think the problem is, like, Kyle really fucked up his game to the point where just nobody trusts him.
Kyle and Jess are the ones who are in the season.
Yeah, but I think really, like, Kyle hurt Moose's game the most. Yeah. Because Moose could have been in a really strong position this season, really wanted to, like, ride it out with Kyle, would have protected him. And instead, Moose is just a lone wolf at this point.
Yeah.
So it's really unfortunate because I think he could have been a real power player this season. I was really loving him those first few weeks, and he just hasn't been able to do much, unfortunately. So
the veto drawing happens, and Josh, which is Moose's house guest choice, Jacey-Lynne is Summer's, and then Halena's also drawn.
Which it made sense, I think, for Summer to pick Jacey-Lynne because she knew that there was a plan in play to go for Marty. So, you know, she knew that the veto would be used there.
Yeah, even if Jacey-Lynne's targeting Summer.
Yeah, which, like, she is, but she's not doing, like, an overt way.
Yeah.
Like, I literally thought she was going to vote Summer out, but she didn't. So
Moose is feeling great about this veto draw, but just needs to make sure Haleena doesn't win.
Which,
well, anyway.
We'll get into that.
The veto competition happens, and it's a balancing comp. Each of them will have to fill up a bunch of water into a tube and then spray it onto teeth to help them clean them. So they obviously wear pajamas.
Yeah.
They also,
even though it looked like they were doing something else.
Oh God!
But you know, holding it like this and spraying it into the.
So funny.
Listen, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah. They also have to construct a floating puzzle, which they will then put together based on how much fluid goes into the mouth.
This was a really tough comp. Like I feel like it's probably one of the harder puzzle comps I've seen.
It was really tough, but it was entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And then in the worst possible scenario, Haleena wins the veto, which is also her very first win. Which is, I mean, I was very excited that she finally won something and she was very happy about it.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, like, this was the one person that wasn't going to use the veto and was going to ensure a really boring week happens. And unfortunately, that's pretty much what happens here because, look, did it make sense for Helena to use that veto? No, it didn't, because she's good with Marty and she needs to keep Marty in. Like, it made sense for her not to use that veto.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see that veto be used because I wanted to see Marty get backdoored. It would have been so good.
I know. Like, like I wouldn't have cared who she used it on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just use it. Put Marty
I
up.
mean, obviously, it'd be nice if she saved Summer, but I mean, if she saved Moose, I'd be happy with that too.
I feel like she would have been more inclined to save Moose than Summer, just based on Moose's pitch.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah. So, yeah.
JL tells Moose that she feels Haleena would use it based on the fact it's her first veto win.
Which, I mean, not a bad reasoning, but
That's
again, she's either doing this, but she's probably doing this to make him think that there's a potential that he saved, which he's not.
Yeah.
But I also think that she was kind of like hoping that she would use it, which, you know.
Kevin talks to Haleena, and they both agree that she can't use this veto because taking out Marty would take a hit to their side, whereas Moose going is good for them.
Hold on, you're telling me someone in BB Can 10 that doesn't use the veto? That's something that happens?
Right?
Yeah, that's possible in this season.
Haleena doesn't quite understand why Gino wants to target Marty based on the final 5 he has with them. She talks to Gino and says that Marty has loyalty to the 5 of them, which makes him realize he may have to back out of putting them up. Which is exactly what I was saying before, where it's like if he would have just told them initially, like, hey, this is the plan. I want to put Marty up. I think that he's a threat to all of our games. Like, I think they would have been more – I think they would have been a little bit more receptive to it. But this time around, they weren't. Yeah, right? That's what was crazy. It's like – and that seems to happen a lot this season. It's like the one outcome that you're not expecting. That's exactly what happens. Because I remember everyone was saying, Haleena can't win a comp. Haleena can't win a comp. And then she wins a comp, which, like, again, is good for her, but it's boring to watch. I know.
So
Gino talks to JL and lays out their options and says if they don't backdoor Marty, he can be a walking target for them. And JL agreed they can't play emotionally, and Gino feels getting rid of Moose would be just as good for him.
And this is a really bad way of looking at it because it's like there's only so many weeks left at this point. Like, when are you going to get this guy out? Like, literally they only have like 5 weeks left of the game. Like, there's
not much at all.
There's not many more places to hide. You might as well just go for him while you can. And like Gino said, it'd be like Gino was honest on where he said this would be a great resume move for me. Like, if Gino is able to successfully get out Kyle and Marty, fuck yeah, if he'd had my vote in the end. Because like that's incredible that he was able to get out 2 really big targets like that. But he didn't, and I don't understand why. I think again, Haleena and Kevin would have been down for it if he had consulted them, but he didn't. So yeah, it didn't work out. So we then get to this other part of the episode, which was completely pointless and also really random because most of the time when a twist happens in Big Brother or Big Brother Canada, the audience is not completely as unaware as the house guests are. But this time around, that was not the case because basically we see everyone notices that there are flowers scattered around the house. They realize this is likely connected to some kind of power. They all try to figure out the significance of it, and we see Jacey-Lynne is trying to strategize about this, and she realizes there's only one phone in the building. She's eventually led into a secret room with a phone, and she dials the numbers, and she's told that the only way to uncover the power she has is to figure out which of the mystery doors have been unlocked. She then has to find 3 keys without getting caught, and if she does, the secret power is going to be completely discarded, which is crazy to think about. Like, literally all she had to do was get caught, and she can't get this power at all. So she's able to successfully find all 3 keys, then has to solve some kind of math equation. This dragged on for a long time. She's led to the secret room where she has to unlock puzzle pieces and assemble it. Does not pull a Caitlin Hermon, though. She does successfully put this together.
We actually like Caitlin.
It would have been funny if she flopped, though, like Caitlin did.
It would have been.
So she wins the secret veto, and she can use it on either nominee and can use it even after the veto has been played. However, it has to be used this week, and this is the kicker. If she tells anyone, she's going to be evicted instantly, which would have been, like, amazing if that happened.
Right?
Look, this is my perspective. This veto is completely secretive. Like, nobody's going to know who played it unless you fess up to it.
Yeah.
Just fucking play it. Like, literally, just make a move. Jacey-Lynne at this point has no moves to her name whatsoever. Her entire game is she's being viewed, I think, as, like, she is latching on to what Gino's doing. Like, she's just in the showmance, and she's just, like, you know, she's the only person who... she only gets excited like when he does something. She only cares about his game. Like, she's not really playing for herself that much. This would put her in a significantly better position if she had just used that veto, and I don't know why she didn't. Like, I think this was a terrible move for her all around.
It would have been so much more interesting.
I agree. This episode was a waste.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this whole week of episodes are a waste.
They spent so much time on this too. So, like... She knows she can't tell Gino about it, so she just sees if they're still concrete with the plan, and it seems like they are. So at the ceremony, Haleena breaks the streak of the season, doesn't use the veto. Halena's then told to go to the diary room, told about, this is what really pissed me off. They make this whole big deal. She reads this piece of paper, told about the secret veto, and it's not used. And it's just very anticlimactic to watch. Jacey-Lynne said she was like this close to using it on... No, literally.
I feel like she would have saved Moose.
She said she was going to, yeah. I mean,
because Jacey-Lynne's targeting Summer, so I mean, she definitely would have saved Moose if need be.
She said that Moose almost won her over, so yeah. I agree with this. I agree with this a lot. I think that if Marty goes this week, the whole rest of the game is completely different at that point. And I don't think that...
It would have been so good.
I don't think that this would immediately make Gino and Jacey-Lynne targets. I think there are bigger fish to fry at that point. But no, I guess we're not going to do anything interesting. We're going to do the most boring thing possible and go after someone who's completely alone, because that makes sense, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Ugh, this week made me mad.
Same.
I just heard a dog bark.
Ruff, ruff.
Ruff. So everyone's questioning who could have had...
we're getting into Thursday now.
Yeah, so that's everything that happened on Wednesday. We're going to go into Thursday. The only good thing about this secret veto is that there's a little bit of paranoia. A little bit.
That's true.
Because they're all questioning why it wasn't used. Gino believes that Marty had it based on the look on his face. Moose, Josh, and Summer also very much believe that he had it. Again, this is how much of a target Marty is at this point. Like, people just believe that he has things.
They just want him gone.
I want to reiterate, it would have been so easy to get him out. Like, yeah, you're going to piss off Kevin and Haleena, but just fucking do it. Like, Jacey-Lynne, just play the damn veto.
Oh, I know.
And nobody would have blamed her for it. Nobody. Like,
I wish someone I wish Summer or Betty got it.
Yeah, that would have been so much better.
Yeah.
That would have been so much better if that happened.
Well, yeah, of course Summer would have played it on herself.
Yeah, obviously. So, Haleena talks to Marty and lets him know that Gino had plans to backdoor him and that he is the smartest person within the house right now, and says he needs her to win the HOH now. Marty, of course, is going to do nothing with this information because he's just so in love with Gino at this point. Summer talks to Haleena, and she is unsure if she is staying this week. She doesn't know who the secret POV holder is, but she's very upset with Haleena because she wanted Haleena to use the veto. Yeah. I get why Summer's upset, because if you remember the beginning of the game, they had this alliance of sorts, and it didn't work out, obviously, but, like, I can understand Summer's frustration here with Haleena not using it. That being said, the way Summer handles the rest of this week is horrendous. Like, probably the worst that she's played so far.
I feel so bad for her.
So Moose feels it's going to be very hard to campaign against Summer because of how likable she is, but he tries to get Josh on his side, and Betty decides to do the same thing to Summer that she did to her last week, and says she doesn't know where her vote is going. Summer realizes exactly what she's doing and just kind of laughs it off. Yeah, I thought this was great that Summer recognized it.
That was good though, just because Summer was literally torn on the person who actually has her back, which was probably
probably what put her in the position that she is now. But
yeah,
Summer says she doesn't want to make promises, and this is Summer's whole campaign. She's like, oh, I don't want to promise you anything, I don't want to keep you safe or whatever, but I have my targets. They're Marty and Gino, and Betty obviously feels this is a very weak campaign based on how little Summer's actually showing her trust. This is generally one of the worst campaigns I've ever heard in like a long time when it comes to Big Brother. I don't understand what Summer's doing in terms of that. Again, and I've loved Summer this entire game, but this was bad. This was legitimately horrible.
I don't know what she was doing.
If anybody used this campaign speech to me, I would think they're bullshitting me. I would think they're not on my side. I would think that they're just trying to save their ass. And it really did not seem genuine at all, especially because she uses the exact same speech for everyone. She doesn't change it in any way. It's so bad.
So it's basically like Sophia and BB Sim.
Yeah, I guess so.
Using the same pitch but changing her targets.
Yeah, exactly the same dream. Like I love Summer, but this was really bad.
Oh yeah.
Generally, I don't know what she was thinking here. So JL and Gino go on their first date because we all really want to see, you know, this date between the two of them. This is something we've all been waiting for. We get a lot of filler in this episode, by the way, that we're not going to talk about. Like they have some like feasts because it's spring now. There's like a whole segment about like math equations or some shit. I don't know. A lot of stupid shit. But she lets him know that she was the secret veto holder, and he's shocked and thought Marty had it and feels that she played it as best as she could, which I disagree. The way to play it, the way that she should have played it was just to fucking play it. Instead, she chose to do nothing. Yeah. So I don't know.
Like what?
I mean, I don't think she stayed because of anything she did. I think she stayed just because Moose was such a house target at that point.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Which is sad because I don't think Moose did too much to put himself in that position.
He did.
I feel like Kyle kind of did that to him.
Oh, yeah. Kyle fucked him over.
Yeah. So Bay decides to do the same thing. Oh, I already read this. So Summer wants to continue fake flirting with Gino to keep him on her good side. And he talks about how, and this is such a cringy scene, by the way.
Oh, God.
He talks about how he plays along just to keep her happy. And Jacey-Lynne's annoyed that guys are egging him on about it, saying that she's jealous. And Summer brings up how she would never cross that boundary. And she tells Kevin that she doesn't want this to become a public thing so that she becomes the butt end of the joke. Why do we care about this? Like, this isn't something that matters. This was stupid. I didn't like this at all.
No.
Just bad. Just bad. Yeah.
Okay,
her speeches were good.
Her speeches were amazing, but her pitches, yikes.
Yeah, her pitch was bad. Her speeches were good. I feel like at this point, Summer's much better as like just like an entertaining, like fun character than like a really strong game player. I still think she could
win in the end, though.
She could, based on like likability, definitely based on likability, but she needs a few more moves, I think, to really make it there. And there's people that are standing in her way that I don't know if she realizes they're standing in her way. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What?
You mean Allie?
Oh yeah. I already read that. Not me trying to read everything.
No, it's okay. Moose talks to Kevin and brings up how he would be willing to work with his side and wouldn't tell him what to do, whereas Summer is pretty much gun-ho for Marty next week.
Again, a really good pitch, I think, from Moose. Like, he did a really good job.
Chrissy.
Hi, Chrissy. This is what I want to know. Like, I don't know why she didn't fucking use it. Like, literally... That's exactly what's going to happen now. Like,
if I was on this season, I definitely would have used it if I got that.
And I've also said before, I don't think Jacey-Lynne being attached to Gino is good for her game because she's being seen as just like Gino's right hand woman, essentially.
Yeah, basically his little puppet. So it'd be iconic if she cut him.
Yeah, I honestly think that she should just cut him at this point because I don't think he's good for her game, especially because people see Gino as like very dominant. I mean,
Marty and Gino will probably be leaving in the triple.
I don't see Gino going. I could see Marty going. I don't see Gino going.
Well, they are targeted.
I don't know. I think people see Gino as like a really big threat to win. So I don't know.
Summer campaigns to JL and gives her the same spiel. And JL doesn't take any of it seriously.
Which I don't blame her. I wouldn't either. Like, it's so bad.
I know. Moose tries to campaign to Betty, and he brings up how beneficial he could be to her game, and that she wouldn't go up if he was HOH.
Again, I just think a really good good speech from a really good speech from him overall. This is exactly what I'm saying to her. And like, it doesn't affect her. She's not gonna. No one's gonna know that she played it.
Yeah.
What is the risk of using it? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
She can
it's
easily
secretive.
she can lie to Gino. She can frame someone for it. Like there are so many factors. And
I would, if I was Jacey-Lynne there, I'd probably blame it on like Marty.
Exactly. Well, she couldn't really blame it on Marty because Marty would go on the block, so that wouldn't really work. She could blame it on someone else though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Or she could just blame it on the person that she takes off and say they had it.
That's true.
That could have worked too.
Yeah.
Honestly, that might be the best play if she just blames it on Summer or Moose.
Yeah.
And then say, hey, they must have used it.
Right?
So, I don't know. Yeah, that too. That's it. I don't know.
Yes.
Just really bad gameplay all around. Jacey-Lynne is just flop.
She is. Ugh.
Big flop.
She talks to Josh to make sure that they're making the right decision, and she feels Summer is more covered, and they maybe need to keep Moose around since he would benefit them more comp-wise as well.
You see what you did, Summer? Like, literally, Summer telling Betty that she's not sure where she's voting has hurt her so bad to the point where Betty's now considering possibly voting her out. Like, this is really things you do every single week can affect you long term, and I think that definitely
Summer and Helena have been my fave since like the beginning.
Yeah.
Also, I love Betty.
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed by the way Helena's playing.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see Helena making it to the end and winning.
Yeah, for sure. I can too, actually. I think that she has
like this after this week. I feel like she is.
Yeah, I think people don't see what she's doing as much, which is gonna help her.
She's playing a very low key game.
Definitely. She'd be a better winner than some other people.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. And I mean, she's not like my top contender or anything, but I think she'd definitely be a better winner.
Who's your number one pick?
Kevin. Definitely Kevin.
Yeah.
I think Kevin's playing the best game.
He's doing really well, but I want a girl to win.
I mean, yeah, but like I just think Kevin's playing the best game out of everyone.
Yeah.
So Josh feels...
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, it's still you.
Josh feels Moose is by himself, but Betty brings up the fact Summer was going to vote for her out last week. Then they both seem very torn.
Yep.
And then it's time for the next eviction, and Summer hopes the power of the afro will save her and thinks of how ridiculous this week is.
I love this speech so much.
So good.
It was so funny.
So funny.
Her being like, this is ridiculous. You should be ashamed of yourself.
She's like, fuck all of you.
This is so funny.
Fuck you, Gino.
Yeah.
She's so mad at him.
Yeah.
And then Moose brings up that those who did him dirty will be sent out the door next.
But I mean, even with that, like Gino was still laughing along with the whole thing. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's the one thing that Summer has is like, she's just so likable. People are able to just kind of like go along with what she's doing.
Much.
Yeah, this was just very unfortunate the way this turned out.
I know. The eviction goes down, and it's a unanimous vote for Moose to go.
Remember when the votes were split this season? That was fun.
I missed that.
I know. Now it's just going to be unanimous
Boring.
all season. Yeah.
In his interview, Moose brings up how this is an individual game.
Individual.
And he should have put more emphasis into that. And Arisa talks about how much she will miss his energy and hair.
Yeah. I mean, it's very unfortunate to lose Moose here. Yeah, that is true. That's true. Yeah. No, I mean when it comes down to Moose, like I think Moose was the kind of player that really had immense potential in this game. Like he could have done some amazing things, but
yeah,
I really do put this toward blame Kyle more. Like I blame Kyle for this because of the fact that his entire game was that he was going to try to, run things with Kyle. He was going to try to, work secretly with him in a duo because they knew each other.
Yeah.
Kyle threw that out immediately. He then blamed Moose for all this shit, could have potentially gotten him evicted. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I do think Kyle is single-handedly responsible for things turning out the way they did for Moose. Like, yeah, he wasn't able to really repair things after that, but Moose was in a position after that where people just viewed him as like untrustworthy, not loyal, when that's not really the way Moose was playing. Moose was sticking his neck out for a lot of people in this game. And
he was.
I feel like more so than
he was very loyal and very fun.
I feel like he was doing it more than people were even giving him credit for. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss Moose a lot. I think he had so much potential. I'd love to see him come back for like a second chances or something if they would ever do that.
I think he would do really well in second chances.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a good way to look at it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are not doing that. They're definitely thinking a bit too much of themselves and not really focusing on the people they need to work with.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah.
And then it is time for the next HOH, and it's an endurance one. Everyone has to stay attached to a plank of sorts.
And can I just say, this seems fucking impossible. Like, how do you stay attached to that thing?
I don't know.
You're literally on you're literally on like a ramp that's like sliding down. Like, I don't know how you possibly stay on that.
It's so funny.
It seems impossible. I would fall immediately.
Ooh, yes. I'd like that.
I would love to see both of them come back. I think they both were like such great characters.
I think they'd do so well in All Stars.
Yeah.
All right, and the end of the episode, it ends with Arisa lets us know next week will be a triple.
Yes, so you guys know how this works. We'll be back on Wednesday to talk about everything that goes down.
Wednesdays.
Yeah, everything that goes down on those days.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but I'm also very nervous. The last triple eviction that we had, we know how that turned out.
Well, we're either gonna do it like when I get home Wednesday night, sadly.
Yeah.
Or on Thursday after his class.
No, you're not leaving. You're not leaving.
I don't want to. Maybe something will happen where I'll have to stay longer.
You're not gonna leave. But no, in all seriousness, the triple itself, like, I'm very dubious when it comes down to it. I don't know how it's really gonna turn out, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Oh yes, we do have to talk about this. There was a safety vote, and Summer did win it, which is amazing. So I'm very happy that that turned out the way that it did. We'll talk about
Canada actually voted a good winner.
Yes, we'll talk about that. Well, Marty was also ineligible, thankfully. So
yeah,
we'll talk more about that later on. I do want to answer this question. So who I want to win is Kevin. I think Kevin is playing the best game. I think that he's been super low key, but it's worked out for him because he really has gotten to a point where he has basically everyone wrapped around his finger. The things that he wants to get done are getting done. He's had his way almost every single week. Him and Haleena have been dominating the entire game. And I think that he's just been killing it. So yeah, I want to see Kevin take it. Take it in the end.
Yeah, who do I want to win? Well, Summer or Haleena, my two girls. Also, I love Betty too.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd be happy with Kevin, of course.
Yeah.
And such.
Favorite is still Summer.
Yeah.
That's my favorite to watch.
Oh yeah, Summer, Haleena. Well, Summer.
Who do we not like at all is Marty and the Showmance. I can't stand
who do I not like at all? Yeah, Marty, Gino, Jacey-Lynne, and then I definitely don't want them to win.
Yeah.
I like Josh, but like his game's just been kind of going downhill.
Yeah, not very good. Not very good at all. Yeah, I mean at this point, like I just want to see I just don't want to see any of those three win. But the problem is I feel like we're getting to a point where they very well could. Just because of the way the game's going. Like I could see one of them potentially winning, and that sucks. But like they haven't exactly lost significantly yet. So until one of them leave, I'm not counting them out, unfortunately.
Fingers crossed this triple goes well.
We'll see.
I mean, it'd be amazing if like Jacey-Lynne, Gino, Marty, any of them leave.
I mean, the last double eviction we had, Gino was this close to leaving, so it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. But we'll see what happens. But other than that, that's it for this week for Big Brother Canada. I know this was a pretty short one. We didn't really have much to discuss this time around.
No, it felt longer than we expected.
A little bit.
Because I thought it would only be like maybe 30 minutes at most.
Yeah. I mean, we had some questions to answer too, so that took
comments.
Up some of it.
Thank you. We always appreciate anyone watching.
Yeah, we'll be back for Survivor at some point.
Yeah, we were supposed to do Survivor with a special guest at his house.
Yeah.
But we're still gonna have him on when we eventually do the notes.
Yeah, so
because we watched the episode, it was just kind of hard to hear it at his house.
Yeah, so we'll have to rewatch it soon.
Yeah, we'll do it soon.
Yeah, definitely. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, comment down below if you guys are still watching the season. I know a lot of people have dropped off at this point. I don't really blame you. It's not turning out that great. But we will. But as always, let us know what you guys are thinking of it overall. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in our next video, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.
Bye.